What is consumer decision making? Consumer decision making is a crucial segment of consumer behavior. Our evaluations and the process it takes for us to choose a product varies on each situation. This all depends on the importance or novelty related to the decision. The three categories of consumer decision making are cognitive, habitual, and affective. Every consumer decision we make is a response to a problem. For example, say you want to go on a family vacation where the weather's warm and is the happiest place on earth. Where would you go? Really think about it. You'd definitely go to Disney World, of course. Whether it be decisions we make on an automatic basis, kind of like candy bars or McDonald's, or analyze decisions to avoid huge risk, kind of like buying a house. All of these situations are consumer decision making. Cognitive purchase decision is the outcome of a process that results in the selection of one product over another option. This process includes problem recognition. We realize that we need to take action. Second, information search. We need to research what we need to do to resolve the problem. The internet has changed the way many of us search for information. This can range from numerous things, from catching up on the presidential debate to watching makeup tutorials on YouTube, or even your mom's Facebook status about how wonderful Uber's customer service is. Yelp and comparative search sites and intelligence agents help to filter and guide the search process. We may rely on cybermediaries such as web portals to help ease their decision-making process. Third, evaluate alternatives. Take the products from your search and compare it to other competitors. Fourth, product choice. The consumer will eventually have to make a product decision from one of the alternatives. He will use one of these following decision rules. Compensatory. Eliminate alternatives that are deficient on any of the criteria we have chosen. Or non-compensatory. These are more likely to apply in high involvement situations. It allows us to consider each alternative's pros and cons more carefully to figure out the best choice. Lastly, outcomes. Once the consumer makes the choice, they will engage in a post-purchase evaluation, whether they love or hate their decision. This will influence the decision process next time. Kind of like going on a date with somebody. If the date was super awkward and you hated it, wouldn't that affect your decision on a second date? The way information about a product choice is framed can prime a decision even when the consumer isn't aware of that influence. For example, in our textbook, they used the IBM and Apple experiment. Respondents were either flashed a picture of the IBM logo or the Apple logo without knowing. Those shown the IBM logo tended to have responses linked to tradition and intelligence, while the Apple respondents were more creative and innovative. Frequently, we rely on rules of thumb to make routine decisions. Many people don't do research when making a consumer decision. We take shortcuts based on brand, price, and imitations. There are also biases in decision making, such as mental accounting, sunk cost fallacy, loss aversion, and prospect theory. We also use heuristics as a shortcut. We develop many market beliefs in regards to brand, stores, price, advertisements, and products over the years. For example, we believe that we can determine quality by just looking at a price. Others rely on things such as brand name or where the product was made. Marketers need to understand consumers' behavior, rather than just one consumer's behavior. There isn't just one person who makes all the purchasing decisions. Collective decision-making is where more than one person chooses products that multiple consumers use. There are specific roles when groups choose products or services for their organizational unit. These roles include the initiator, who brings up the idea, the gatekeeper, who conducts the information search and manages information available to the group, influencer. They try to sway the outcome of the decision, the buyer, the person who actually makes the purchase. Finally, the user, the person who actually consumes the product or service. The decision-making process differs when people choose what to buy on behalf of an organization rather than just for personal use. Organizational buyers are people who make purchasing decisions on behalf of a company. This could be manufacturing, distribution, or resale. Organizational buyers are influenced by the buy class theory, which are organizational buying decisions divided into 3 types: level of information required, seriousness of decision, and familiarity with the purchase. B2B marketers specialize in satisfying needs of corporations, government agencies, and retailers. When looking at a family dynamic, each member of the unit plays a different role and have different amounts of influence when the family makes purchase decisions. That being said, there are two different household decisions. Consensual. For example, when you're buying a pet, you might voice concerns like who will take it on walks and who will feed it. Accommodative. Group members have different priorities and preferences and can't agree on a purchase that satisfies everyone. The most common source of conflict like this is household spending and budgeting. Decisions like this create conflict among family members. Some factors that determine how much family decision conflict there will be are interpersonal need. A high schooler may care more about what groceries her mom buys than her college student who doesn't live at home. Product involvement and utility. A father who works out every day will be more interested in the purchase of a new treadmill than his 6-year-old daughter who only likes to play with her dolls and play with friends. Responsibility. Individuals are more apt to have an argument about a decision if it has a long-term commitment and consequences. And power, the degree to which one family member displays influence over the others. In the situation where only one family member chooses the product, that is called an autonomic decision, whereas a syncretic decision, such as family vacations, involve both partners. As the couple's educational levels increase, the more likely they are to make a decision together. Today we talked to you about the decision-making process, along with why you make those decisions and in depth on the different types of decision-making. Maybe then next time you'll ask yourself, what consumer decisions do I make?